Hi everyone, welcome to Q School. My name is Jamie Devinger. Some of you may know me as the Chief Innovation Officer here. I head up our product development team.
I'm Jennifer Mason, the Regional Sales Manager at QTL. Today we're going to be taking a look and learning all about the new QUOVA Performance, QTL's newest Cove offering.
We're super excited to talk about QUOVA Performance. We have taken the performance of many larger line voltage products in the market and compressed it into a traditional QTL low voltage, smaller form factor product while still delivering excellent performance. And we think this is going to be a really great tool for lighting design projects and are excited to share more information with you guys.
That's unbelievable. So let's talk about what makes these fixtures so versatile.
So probably the most important key feature of this product is the distribution of light out of the product. So this product has a really a peak of light at a low angle that lets it throw light across the ceiling. And actually, if we want to just zoom in on the product here on the table, so in looking at this, you'll see that the trajectory of light goes almost horizontally out of the product, with the peak being just slightly above that. This allows us to do is, as opposed to a more traditional halo style cove lighting application, this will actually deliver lumens across the ceiling to increase the uniformity of this ceiling.
There's a lot of products on the market today. What stands out about QUOVA Performance compared to what's already available?
In addition to the compact size and adjustability features that we'll talk about in a minute, when we dial in specifically on that distribution of light across the ceiling, the relative brightness or illuminance of the ceiling further into the room is higher with this product than other products that we've tested that are considered best in class in the market. So to give an example, if I were lighting across a 30-foot ceiling from either side, if I were to offset this product about a foot below the ceiling, lighting from the two sides using the 9 watt per linear foot product, I could be getting up to 10-foot candles on the ceiling in the middle of the room, which is quite a high amount of delivered light across the ceiling. Not just output, but distribution of the output and throw of the output into the space to deliver uniformity on the ceiling and also to bounce the light and provide more functional reflected light at task and eliminate the need for additional downlighting to supplement.
Excellent.
If that's desired in the design. So the ideal mounting height of the product would be a 1 foot offset below the ceiling to allow room for the light to spread. We have designed the product to work as shallow as a 6-foot drop from underside of the cove to underside of the upper ceiling. You'll be able to access the fixture and install it. You're going to get more and more of a halo effect the tighter you get to the ceiling. This product really performs best about a foot off the ceiling, but it will still compete with other products in the market, apples to apples at a higher performance, even at a 6-inch offset from the upper ceiling.
Great. Where do you see this product being used as far as applications with those offsets?
Well, we see anywhere that you would like to mount the product, either float it out on the edge of a dropped ceiling to light up onto an adjacent higher ceiling. So maybe you have mechanical plenum or somewhere where you've dropped the ceiling for services and you're lighting up onto an adjacent pop-up ceiling. We have also designed the product to work, it could be surface mounted to a wall or to an architectural lip horizontally or on a vertical surface. So really a range of different applications where you might be working at a lower datum to light up to a higher surface. We know sometimes there's a push to have the ceilings be as high as possible, which is why we've designed the product to work in a 6-inch compress if needed.
Here we have the QUOVA Performance, the standalone version. Can you give us a little bit of a background about what's special about this product?
So the standalone QUOVA, this is basically the core building block of the QUOVA Performance Cove system. I'll take it back to QTL, the larger idea of QTL. With the way we design our products, we really conceive of them with the highest quality building blocks from the inside out. So with any product that we're developing, it has our own light engines that we design in-house. have the ability to manufacture here in Milford, Connecticut. And we designed the light engines to have a tight one step, one bin on most of our static white light engines, a very high 95 plus CRI, high TM30 for color. And then additionally, we have a very wide range of color temperatures from 2000 to 4000 standard, with the ability to customize as needed. Taking that really good quality light engine, this product uses our static white high efficacy light engine, which those who have specified QTL in the past will be familiar with from other products. You're going to get that consistency of white and color rendition if you specify this product with other compatible products in the QTL offering. SW or SWHE, they will be consistent. Our SWHE high efficacy light engines, as a reminder, they go from 1.5 to 3 to 6 to 9 watts per linear foot, all in the 95 plus CRI range. And at 3000 Kelvin, 9 watts per linear foot, we're delivering 843 lumens per foot out of this product. That paired with the bucket of lumens, and where do we put the lumens, that really, that focusing optic let us get the performance out of the product. So it's a combination of good output and where we push that output. We also have the option to use our DWHE light engines with this product. Those can either be controlled as warm dimmable or tunable white. So in addition to our static white high efficacy light engines, you have the option with this product to control it as tunable or warm dimming.
I noticed you have an additional lens on the table. Is there different beam offerings with this product line?
Yeah, so this is just one beam. It is a, and I believe we can pull it up on the screen, but a very peaky forward-throwing optic that pushes light across the ceiling. But what we do have with this are clips that can be installed. So the way the clips work, very simple. You can pre-install these onto the product, and then you put this up into the Cove. And what's really great is they screw down on an angle. So if I've got a very compressed height, I can get in there on an angle, lock this into the ceiling. I've got a thumb screw here that I can adjust, and I have the ability, there's 3 click, 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 click positions. So I can be at a 24 degree above horizon, a 15 degree above horizon, or a 6 degree above horizon. This gives you the flexibility if you're lighting from a lower datum on the wall up to a high ceiling versus if you're in a really compressed height, you can be more extreme with the throw. We dialed in on just 3 positions. We didn't want to allow free, complete rotation because then, you don't have the ability to have that haptic feeling of click, 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 where you can actually say, lock it at 2 clicks or 1 click below. And once that's locked in, then you can either put it in, you can either aim them on the floor and put them in, or you can aim them up in the Cove, but that haptic feeling lets you see what you're doing. We also have a dust cover. This optic does completely cover over the board, so you could pretty easily use a cloth to clean this. But if there's any concern, certain applications where places where you might have higher level of dust, you're concerned about keeping everything out, we have a dust cover that can be added that'll let you completely, seal the entire thing. You're going to lose a little bit of your peakiness, but you're still going to get a very good performance throw Cove product.
Nice. Excellent. And if you have to do a continuous run, how do you connect these fixtures?
So we don't lock them together end to end, because what we don't want to have is you aim one over here and you're torquing the whole run and breaking the clips. So what we do want it to be that these things can butt very tightly end to end. So what you'll see is the light engine goes all the way to the very end. The way we've routed out the wire, we've addressed for the fact that the only gap you're going to have between these is just the thickness of this end cap to end cap, which is not going to telegraph at all onto the ceiling or illuminated surface. So it's going to look very clean and seamless. What I forgot to mention earlier, one of the big benefits of using a solution like this is that with some of the larger line voltage products in the market, because the power supplies are on board and they're designed around certain lengths, you're limited to 1 foot, 4 foot. And with this product, you can actually make it to the nearest 2 inches.
Oh, wow.
So you can be quite tight to trace whatever detail is needed.
Excellent. So Jeannie, I noticed that these mounting clips are super versatile, super flexible. Where would these typically be used in an application? Is this new construction? Is this a retrofit? Where would you see these ideally?
What's really great about the product is the flexibility. So we've given you kind of the base model that has the adjustable clips. You could put this into any existing architectural cove or cornice. I could even see this going behind a valance and, you know, lighting down a wall. There's a lot of different things you could do with the product. That said, we have also developed some pre-made knife edge cove solutions, which include a smooth side version for hard surfaces, brick, wood, where you could then paint to match and surface mount onto a wall, and a textured underside product that could be mudded over, and then also a float version, which if you have a dropped ceiling, you can actually float this off the edge of that ceiling. So you can mount to a vertical face, or you can float off the edge of a ceiling, or you can use the standalone version in an existing or new construction architectural cove detail. What's really great is that they actually use the exact same clip piece. So this clip mechanism engages in the pre-made knife profiles that we offer. So you could pre-order those knife profiles, get them completely installed on your job site while you're finalizing the details of the shop drawings, the exact length of these, the color temperature, different options. You could order those 8-foot extrusion cove profiles and get them cut to length and installed on site, and then have this follow as a part two to help, you know, facilitate a smooth and easy ordering process.
Yeah. It sounds like a very well-oiled machine in the sense that you're going to be able to install everything very quickly in the field and then get your light source in there.
This is the QUOVA Smooth and Mud In Knife Profiles. So you'll see it has a smooth underside. So this would, imagine the table is a wall, so you'd surface mount this. This actually has, as a diagonal screw track, so you can diagonally get in here to screw this to the wall. There's no additional cleat, there's no additional hardware required in the form of a cleat, and there's no upstand for screwing. You screw right into the profile. That's a huge feature because you then can actually mount this to the hard surface and have it be very clean without having any visibility to an extra tab. Or in the version with a textured underside that you'd be mudding, you're not then mudding a surface that you're about to uplight and create. As many of us have seen instances where you're then featuring a texture that you may not want to be featuring. And then, so you get this installed, you can cut this to length. This actually has the ability, and I can show it from the inside, where the end caps engage. We have machined end caps that mate to the extrusion that you can use if you need them. We also sell pre-mitered corners. So we sell this product, factory mitered corner option, and we have an inline track here. So you can fully align these on the job site in straight and 90-degree versions so that when you go to put these in, there's no concern about seeing gapping or seaming between them.
That is the inside corner. Do we do outside corners?
We do inside and outside,
Excellent.
yes.
Great.
And you can order just the aligner brackets and miter cut on site, or you can order the pre-made assembly. And then once that's all installed, I can install the same clips that I was showing that get used for the standalone install details. There we go, yeah, I had it right. So these go down into the track, and then there's a track here for the screw, and then I can lock these down. This way, if I'm doing it from above, but then this can go. It's a complete assembly. And then I have the thumb screws for making any adjustments that I need to make. Gotta loosen this guy up a little bit. So there you go. Click, 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 click. And then I can lock it down. And then we do have an optional dust cover. Again, the dust cover will cut a little bit at your peakiness of your optic. You're still gonna get good performance, it's frosted, but if you're using this in a medical application or somewhere where you really need to have this completely covered, you can do that. And we do have the ability to actually, in the tracker, screw and lock it in place for applications that require this to be tamper-proof.
Our QUOVA Performance float. This is a little different than the other versions that we've had. Can you tell us a little bit about the applications this lends itself to compared to the smooth and the mud-in version?
Yeah, so the float is if you have a dropped ceiling and an adjacent pop-up and you want to float off the edge of the drop ceiling with a pre-made knife profile. This uses the same QUOVA standalone performance light engine on the inside for that same consistency of performance. But now, this product actually, this cleat will engage against the blocking or structure, and then this will hang off of that. So this will mount onto the structure, and then this will hang off of that for extra support. And then this is actually where the sheetrock would come under. And then you have room, you notice the nose tapers a little bit, you have room to float this out. So you paint, you tape in spackle and feather this out. So you'd actually have, if this was my lower drop ceiling, it looks like this just comes to a knife point. And then I have my light engine inside that lights up onto the upper ceiling.
Excellent. So you're extending the architecture to create a lighting element.
Yes.
Excellent.
While keeping, a nice smooth, sharp knife point. And there's thought to continue developing out our series of knife profiles to include different shapes and form factors. These are our first pre-made knives to launch with the product, but if you're interested in seeing different form factors and shapes in pre-made assemblies, we're always interested to hear feedback. And Jen and I spend a lot of time working together on modified and special applications as well as part of our QTL custom and mod project group.
Jamie, can you tell us a little bit about the QUOVA Performance series and how to power it in the field?
Yes, so what's really great about the QUOVA Performance power solutions is that they are consistent and the same as the rest of the QTL 24-volt low voltage linear product offering. Again, consistency in everything we do. We really try to deliver great building blocks and tools that can be mixed and matched and used to tailor to whatever specific application your project needs. So to that end, we have a whole host of different power supply solutions. Our QTM series and our QT cab series are enclosures that let us do multiple 96 watt outputs per enclosure. These are actually IC rated for recessing in between studs, so they don't take up any extra occupied square footage in the space. In our QTM, we can do up to 3 96 watt class 2 24 volt DC outputs. In our QT cabinet, we can do up to 6 24 volt DC 96 watt outputs. And then with that, we can do a whole bunch of different dimming protocol options, phase 0 to 10. And actually we can sneak in more than 6 outputs on the cabinet when we do our phase 0 to 10 30 watt outputs. We can do Dolly 2. We can do DMX, we can do also Lutron Athena node enabled, and we have gotten many different custom requests for different protocol that we maybe don't have, certain Bluetooth protocols, etc. And so we do have a custom and mod projects team in the R&D department that if there's something that you don't see and you need a specific control compatibility, let us know, we'll see what we can do. We also have our QZ family, which is great, cost-effective solution, form factor more like this. These can be located more decentralized. We can do phase 0 to 10 in up to 3 96 watt class 2 outputs, but we also have 96 watt DMX, 96 watt Dolly 2, and we have warm, dim, and tunable. Our goal is basically to make a kit of parts that you could use, with versatility in a host of different existing and new construction applications, and also have something that's compatible with the rest of our low voltage offering. So if you're designing a space and you have toe kick lighting and under counter lighting, and then you want to also do an indirect cove, you're going to get very consistent quality of light. We're giving you a new tool for delivering that uniformly across a ceiling, but it is that same quality light at the core that is really, I think, the value of a QTL linear lighting solution on any project.
Excellent. Yeah. Right now, we're going to open it up for a Q&A session.
Are shop drawings required? Shop drawings are required, or I will say, unless it's very simple runs, required. If there's, one simple straight run, we could say strongly recommended and provide. We still would want to provide a little bill of materials to sign off on, and at least ship record drawings out to help with the installation on site, so they can see the layout of the material that goes with the system. But we do strongly recommend the shop drawings, because we think that will help have the smoothest process of getting the right material there and having it be easy to lay out on site.
Perfect. We also had a question about welded end caps.
We do have machined aluminum end caps, and those have a little foot on them that engages into a screw track on the bottom of the, or an aligner track on the bottom of the profile, and then screws down into place, so it can be put on really tightly for a good seal around the edge, so there's no light leak. We don't actually weld that seam, but it's a really tight fit, so there's not really a concern about any light leak there, and they are aluminum end caps.
One more question. Can the LED be field installed for this product?
The LED is not recommended to be field installed, so you can order the knife profiles in advance and have those cut and installed, but then the light bars that go inside are really intended to be a single unit that you drop in, mostly because there is a precision optic in there, and the perfect seating and alignment of the LED strip in the profile with respect to the optic is critical. That said, if you have a project that really would need to have a field assembled LED strip for some reason, we could certainly take a look at that in our custom mod submission process to see how we could support doing that if it's needed for a project.
Perfect. All right, I think that is all the questions in the Q&A. Thank you again for joining us today for our Q School. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your local representative or your local regional. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.